You wake up one morning, and something feels different. You can't quite put your finger on it until you glance at a book, written in a language you've never studied. And yet, somehow, you understand every word. You flip through the pages, recognizing complex ideas, effortlessly absorbing meaning. But here's the unsettling part. You have no memory of learning it. No study sessions, no late nights, no practice. It's just there. Now, imagine this wasn't a dream. Imagine it was real. What if knowledge, skills, even memories could be uploaded directly into your brain? No effort, no struggle, just instant mastery. At first, it sounds like science fiction. But in labs around the world, scientists are already exploring ways to enhance human cognition, accelerate learning, and even influence thoughts using technology. The line between the natural mind and the engineered mind is beginning to blur. And as we step into this new frontier, one question looms large. For decades, the idea of directly modifying the brain was pure fantasy. But today, researchers have already developed brain-computer interfaces, devices that connect the human mind to machines, allowing people to control robotic limbs with a thought, or even communicate without speaking. In one experiment, a quadriplegic man was able to move a robotic arm simply by imagining the motion. In another, scientists successfully transmitted basic thoughts between two individuals across different continents. This isn't speculation. This is happening now. But here's where it gets even stranger. If we can send information out of the brain, what's stopping us from sending information in? Imagine downloading an entire skill set, playing the piano, coding in Python, speaking fluent Mandarin, without years of practice. Scientists are already testing neurostimulation techniques that can enhance memory, accelerate learning, and even alter emotions. And while these breakthroughs are still in their early stages, they raise a critical question. If we can enhance the human brain, who controls what gets uploaded? The implications go beyond education and self-improvement. If a machine can interface with the mind, what's to stop it from influencing thoughts, decisions, even beliefs? Could a future exist where free will is no longer truly free? To understand how close we are to this reality, we need to look at what's already possible today and just how far the science of brain hacking has come. The human brain is often compared to a computer, processing information, storing memories, running complex calculations without us even realizing it. But unlike a machine, the brain is adaptable, constantly rewiring itself in response to experiences. This ability, known as neuroplasticity, is what allows us to learn, recover from injuries, and even reshape our habits. But what happens when we move beyond natural adaptation and start deliberately reprogramming the mind? Right now, scientists are already exploring ways to modify thoughts, enhance intelligence, and even manipulate memory. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, have made it possible for people with paralysis to move robotic limbs through pure thought. In one case, a man who had lost all mobility was able to control a cursor on a screen just by imagining his hand moving. The brain, once isolated within the body, is now capable of directly interacting with machines. But it doesn't stop there. Some researchers believe that by stimulating specific neural pathways, we could accelerate learning in ways never before imagined. Early studies have already shown that electrical stimulation can enhance memory recall, improve problem-solving skills, and even boost creativity. In one experiment, subjects exposed to targeted brain stimulation performed 40% better on complex tasks than those without it. If intelligence could be upgraded like software, what would that mean for human potential? And yet, these breakthroughs raise an unsettling question. If we can send information out of the brain, what's stopping us from sending information in? Imagine a world where knowledge is no longer learned, but downloaded, where a new language, a new skill, even a new personality trait could be programmed into your mind. This isn't just theoretical. Scientists have already implanted artificial memories in mice, leading them to believe they had experienced something they never actually did. Could the same be done to humans? Could our own experiences, our sense of self, be rewritten? The possibilities are staggering, but they come with an undeniable risk. If the brain can be enhanced, who controls the upgrade? If memories can be rewritten, who decides what stays and what disappears? And if our thoughts can be influenced, are they truly ours at all? Enhancing the human mind may be the greatest leap forward in history, or it may be the moment we lose control over our own consciousness. Because once we start rewriting the brain, where do we draw the line? Imagine a world where knowledge is no longer earned, but acquired in an instant. A world where years of studying, training, and experience are replaced by a single upload. Fluency in any language, mastery of any skill, available at the push of a button. This is no longer just a fantasy. The idea of brain augmentation is quickly moving from science fiction to scientific reality. For the first time in history, we are beginning to merge the human mind with artificial intelligence. Researchers are developing brain implants capable of enhancing memory, improving cognition, and even allowing direct thought-to-thought communication. In a recent study, scientists successfully transferred information from one brain to another, enabling participants to share knowledge without speaking a single word. If this technology advances, it could eliminate the barriers of traditional learning, offering humanity an unprecedented leap forward. But there's something unsettling about this power. If our thoughts, skills, and even emotions could be optimized, what happens to the struggle, the experience, the effort that defines us? Would instant knowledge rob us of the very thing that makes learning meaningful? Or would it simply redefine what it means to be intelligent? Some see this as the next step in human evolution, a cognitive revolution, where intelligence is no longer limited by biology. Imagine doctors who can instantly absorb the latest medical knowledge, engineers who can master complex designs in seconds, or astronauts who can upload survival skills before a mission. With these enhancements, human potential could reach unimaginable heights. But there's another side to this story. If intelligence can be enhanced, does that mean it can also be controlled? Would corporations or governments dictate which information is accessible? And to whom? Could intelligence become a privilege reserved only for the elite, creating a new class divide, not of wealth, but of thought itself? And if our minds can be upgraded like machines, where does the human experience end and something else begin? The promise of superhuman intelligence is closer than ever. But before we embrace it, we must ask, are we truly unlocking our potential? Or are we giving something else the power to redefine who we are? A future where the human mind can be enhanced, optimized, even rewritten. This is no longer just a possibility. It is an inevitability. But as we push the boundaries of neuroscience and technology, we begin to face a far more unsettling question. If our minds can be altered, can our very sense of self be manipulated? Right now, scientists are experimenting with brain stimulation techniques that don't just improve memory and intelligence, but can also modify emotions, suppress fear, and even influence decision-making. In one experiment, researchers successfully implanted artificial confidence into participants, making them believe they could perform tasks beyond their usual ability. In another, electrical impulses reduced feelings of doubt, making subjects more willing to take risks. Scientists have already found ways to erase traumatic experiences in mice, removing fear associations with specific events. It's not hard to imagine a future where painful memories could be selectively deleted or even rewritten. For victims of PTSD, this could be a miracle. But what if this power fell into the wrong hands? Could memories be edited to fit a preferred narrative? Could history itself be reshaped, not in textbooks, but in the minds of individuals? The implications go beyond personal identity. Imagine a world where advertisers could plant desires directly into your subconscious, where political ideologies could be reinforced without you ever realizing it. If the technology to alter thoughts and emotions exists, who decides how it is used? Could free will itself become an illusion, with thoughts engineered by those who control the system? And yet, perhaps this is simply the next step in human evolution. If emotions, intelligence, and memories can be optimized, why should we fear becoming a more efficient, advanced version of ourselves? What if the ability to control our own thoughts is the ultimate freedom? But before we embrace this future, one question remains. At what point do we stop being human and become something else entirely? The ability to reshape the mind, to enhance intelligence, to rewrite memories, these breakthroughs promise a future where human potential knows no limits. But with every leap forward, a shadow follows, because the more control we gain over our own thoughts, the more we must ask, who truly holds that control? Imagine waking up one day with skills you never learned, memories you never lived, desires that weren't yours to begin with. Would you even notice the difference? Would you question the thoughts in your mind, or would they feel as real as any you've ever had? This is the paradox of brain augmentation. The line between self-improvement and manipulation is thinner than we think. The question is no longer just about what we can do, but what we should do. If intelligence can be bought, does knowledge lose its value? If memories can be edited, does truth become a matter of preference? And if emotions can be programmed, do we still own our choices, or do they own us? Some believe this is our evolution, the next phase of human existence, where limitations are obsolete, where suffering can be erased, where minds are optimized for a new age. Others see something far more unsettling, a world where identity itself is no longer a certainty, where free will is not an inherent right, but a privilege granted or denied. The technology is coming, the decisions are approaching, and as we stand on the edge, one question remains: will we master the mind, or will the mind master us? This video has come to an end, but the discovery continues. Check out more content on the channel and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Thank you for watching.